I heard a true story about a man who took his son to McDonald's for French fries. And while his son was eating the French fries, the father asked if he could have a few, but his boy refused. And the father realized that his son refused to share those French fries because he didn't understand several realities. And the man said, first of all, he did not understand, that I am the source of those fries. I paid for those French fries. Secondly, he didn't understand that I control his fries. I could take his fries from him, or I could bury him in French fries. And third, a third reality he didn't get is that I don't need my son's French fries. I could go to the counter and buy my own. The father said, my problem is not that I needed his fries. The problem is, and what hurt is, that he ungratefully acted as if he had provided them for himself, and they were all his. In the same way, our Heavenly Father has blessed us with financial resources. And he says that we are responsible to manage those resources for God's purposes, not for our own. And in the Bible, this is called stewardship. We're talking a lot about that word, but it is one of the most important concepts in all of the Bible. Take your outlines and let me give you a definition. A steward is someone who manages the resources of another to accomplish the goals of the owner. A steward is not an owner. Remember in the good old days of air travel before 9/11 and security, TSA? Remember a long time ago, they used to call the ladies who served coffee and tea and actually meals. Remember that? Yeah. What did they call them? Stewardesses. Because they didn't own the airline. It wasn't their plane. They were managing the resources of that airplane to take care of us. And if we're going to be good stewards of God-given resources, we need to understand the same three realities that father expressed. Three stewardship realities. Number one, God is the source of all your resources. James 1:17, every good thing bestowed and every perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of lights. Every good thing in my life and in your life came from God. A second stewardship reality is that God controls all your resources. 1 Chronicles 29:12, David said, both riches and honor come from you, and you rule over all, and in your hand is power and might, and it lies in your hand to make great and to strengthen everyone. It all comes from God, and he rules over it all. So God could take away our blessings, or he could bury us in blessings. A third stewardship reality is that God doesn't need your resources. Psalm 24:1, the earth is the Lord's and all it contains, the world and those who dwell in it. God owns everything. He owns it all. So he doesn't need our resources. He doesn't need our money. But he commands us to give so that we can experience the rewards that come for participating in the work of God with him. Now, at this point, I can imagine there could be someone in the church, and you're sitting here listening to me, and you're saying, I knew it. That bald preacher is going to ask me to give some of my money to this church. Well, I just want to reassure you that I'm not going to ask you to give any of your money to this church because you don't have any money. It's all God's money. Now, don't you feel better? This is the fundamental question to settle when we talk about giving. Whose money are we talking about? Really? It really isn't yours.